Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Woodstick Classic. The mention of these two words around the lacrosse world conjures up thoughts of rivalry and tradition, unlike any this sport provides at this level. But for the kids who grow up in these two communities, it's the game they dream of playing in from the time they pick up a lacrosse stick. And when they do, they hope to forge their legacy like their fathers, like their mothers, like their older siblings before them. Some will go on and play on the next level collegiately for programs like Duke, Cornell, Michigan, and Boston College. They may leave the halls of these two schools, but they bring with them bragging rights and memories that last a lifetime. It's the Woodstick Classic, and it's next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
And the 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic, sponsored by the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation, Chief Graphics, Breakout Goaltending Group, and J&R Custom Landscaping. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Soper. And Soap, this is the granddaddy of them all, the 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic. As we detailed in that cold open, it is about tradition. It is about history. And these are two lacrosse towns that have a boatload of both.
Yeah, I mean, Jake White, right? I got the binder, right?
Yeah, he's got the book.
You talk about history, right? I have it all here, every single matchup going back to May 2nd, 1935. We're in the middle of the Great Depression, but we're playing lax, right? James Stranahan brings the game. First Long Island High School, Manhasset to have lacrosse. Jim Steen, they match up for the first time in 1935. Forget about it. It's as if the Native Americans handed the lacrosse sticks over to Manhasset and Garden City, and all these kids are born with it, the creator's game, but no bigger on Long Island than these two programs.
And we showed you the records, and in fact, let's show you the tail of the tape here between these two teams, and you see the numbers, right? It is favoring Manhasset right now, 77-64, and that includes last year where they split, but Manhasset won it at Stewart Stadium to reach the county final.
Huge win for them, flipping the tables in the playoffs. Manhasset a little bit of a head start, a couple of years in the whole program, right? So unbelievable. These two programs playing really good lacrosse. Little different style. The shot clocks impacted both teams and their styles. But Garden City's looking to rebound off a tough loss to Northport. Manhasset seems to be figuring things out after another tough Connecticut road trip. But it's the Woodstick, baby. Unbelievable history, tradition. We're the 142nd here. The only thing older today is the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. Which horse do you have, Dill, Manhasset or Garden City today?
We are neutral here, but we will detail both of these thoroughbreds as we start with Manhasset. And as you said, it's a team that is figuring things out, right? In the early part of the season, it was like, who are we? What do we have? We're still young. But Keith Cromwell's side has managed to have an 8-3 record right now, and they're getting healthy at the perfect time.
Had some, injuries here or there, but, Danny Colin's been a steady force. Doc O'Connor and Leader have been leading the midfield. Took a little time, but Manhasset's figured it out. And, they're a balanced team that's difficult to defend, and they're looking to be clean today in all facets to take down and pull what most people would think would be an upset today if they were able to take down Garden City.
Well, let's meet our impact players for Manhasset. And as you said, it begins and a lot of times ends with Danny Colin. He is that straw that stirs the offensive drink for Manhasset. And Michael DePietro, we saw what he could do in transition earlier this year, right? With a pole goal. Does he have another one in him in the biggest game of the regular season?
Colin, a Navy commit. We're on 100-goal watch, Dill. He's got 98 career goals. Can he get 100 today? He's been hot. 11 goals his last 3 games. All-county last year. Really looking to lead the team. And DePietro, just a spark plug in the middle of the field. Manhasset's been doing some 10-man riding, getting him active. Perhaps both teams will 10-man ride a little bit today. We'll see. But we're looking to be clean in both riding and clearing.
On the other side, Garden City, the Trojans are 9-2 on the season. And you mentioned the loss to Northport. And Steve Fennell, in our conversation with him leading up to this, said, yes, listen, Northport we knew was a tough game. We don't schedule our season to think we're going to start 11-0, right? So we knew there'd be bumps in the road. That was one where they got out to a slow start. They struggled against the Northport ride. But this is Garden City, man. They just reload. And what a season these Trojans are having.
Wins over Melville, Syosset, Rye, Wantor, Massapequa. I got the text that GC was down 6-0 to Northport. I thought it was a misprint. They dug, fought back, just couldn't close the gap. They're looking to rebound in a big way. No more motivation than you need to the wood stick to get you going back on track.
Yeah, they won that regular season game last year at Manhasset, and they're trying to end what is this recent trend, right, of winning on the road. They want to end that here. They want a big home win here in the 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic. 2 players to watch for the Trojans today on attack. Charlie Coaster. What a season the junior bound for Lehigh is having. And on the other side of things, we're going to talk about the Cascadon boys a lot today. And it is Blake Cascadon with that long pole.
Yeah, I'm sure Dad James was talking to Charlie all night about the wood stick, how big of an important game this is. Lehigh commit, all-county last year, 36 goals. Following Archer to Lehigh, just an unbelievable scorer, great athlete, Coaster, and Blake Cascadon, unbelievable. Coach Cromwell called him a madman, right? Cornell commit. Doesn't matter if he's a short stick D-mid or playing long stick midi. The Cornell commit is pumped up. They're in the Ivy final. Would love to cap it off with a Woodstick win and a Cornell Ivy League championship.
And Cromie also said, I'm tired of this 3-headed Cascadon monster, right? We had it a couple of years ago. 2 more here. They want to end that now. For Manhasset, let's meet their starters here this afternoon. And they are healthy again. Marco Petroselli was banged up. He's back in as that lefty attack, joining Colin and Connor Sheeran. Your first midfield, this is the trio that has been leading the way all season. Daniel O'Connor, Tommy Leader, Dylan Shear. A long stick midi, Lachlan Fitzpatrick. And your close D joining Michael DePietro, Eric Salura. And how about this, the freshman, Tommy Giron getting the start. He has impressed the Manhasset coaches. And in the cage, it's Brady Balk, the senior. He's back from Chaminade. It's been him and Henry Griffith. Griffith unable to go today, so Balch gets the nod.
Yeah, man named Brady, B squared, lefty, fills up the cage. Gonna have to be really, really good today to beat Garden City, but he's been real solid. 67 saves on the year, over 52.8% save percentage. Real good hands, can outlet it. Got to get 15 to 20 today if you're Balch.
There he is, Keith Cromwell, 9th season at the helm, a 1997 graduate of Hicksville, a 115-28 overall record as Manhasset head coach.
If you had bingo card, coach of the girls team, Camp Latano, Coach Cromwell, 2 Hicksville guys leading the Manhasset programs, you're a winner. Coach Cromie, both these coaches, not only great coaches, but really great players when they were out there. Cromie for Rutgers, Coach Fennell for Duke.
And great staff as well, right? Nick Armstrong, the DC, Steve Mateague. Offensive coordinator Joe Fallon working with the goalies and on the defensive side as well. For Garden City, as the Trojans are still awaiting their entrance after their warm-ups, they like things a little dramatic here around Garden City, so they will make a dramatic entrance, no doubt. But there you see Coaster joined by James DeBuscher and the freshman Ben Smith as your starting attack line. It is a really talented midfield unit led by Michael Berkery, the young stud Anthony Asaro, and the latest of the Krause kids, Chase Krause, on your first midfield. Your LSM, we mentioned it before, Blake Cascadden. How about, these names are just synonymous with Garden City greatness, right? Luke Lesueur, Andrew Dengler, and Gus Galley, the sophomore, at close defense. And in the cage for Garden City, Jake Schliff. He's been waiting his turn, and now is his time.
Big kid, fills up the cage, about 6'1", going to take his talents to Cortland as a long snapper. Really a kid that the players love to play for. Dad John was a great player at UMass as well as Calhoun. He's a really good stopper, has made great strides in the clearing game. Number 20 needs to be rock solid today for the Trojans if they want to take home the Woodstick.
And the head coach of Garden City, of course, it is Steve Fennell, his 19th season at the helm. He is Garden City through and through, a 1991 graduate. Hey, he's approaching win number 300. How about 292 and 81 in his illustrious career here at Garden City? Joe Jacovina, Tim Holman, Mike Lind, his assistant coaches. Both
Staffs, GC and Manhasset, have been together for a very long time. Just think about it, since 1935, you've only had 4 coaches in the history of Garden City. Jim Steen, Julio Silvestri, Doc Doherty, and from 07 to current, Steve Fennell.
It is Manhasset, it is Garden City, the 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic, when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a SPORTSCAST today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
And we welcome you back to Warren King Field here at Garden City. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew, as we are settling in for the 142nd edition of the Wood Stick Classic. Final huddles for both teams. It's open opportunity for us to take a look at each team's keys to this game.
Face-offs, face-offs, face-offs. Manhasset knows that Luke Cascadin's a monster at the X. Got to control the face-off X. Make it 50-50 if you can. Own the middle of the field, whether that's riding, ground balls, special teams. No better than Coach Cromwell and Coach Mattigue at drawing up those X's and O's, man-up power plays. Need them. GC, efficient offense right off of the face-off. We're going to win them. We got to capitalize and make those possessions count. We got to clear efficiently and take care of the ball in between the lines.
By the way, essentially the first two of Cromwell's keys, we might as well just put the last name Cascade in there because that is a big focal point, as it has in the past as well, right? The face-off X being so important. We were treated a few years ago to that great battle of Cascadin and Gerard at the face-off X, two wildly different physical attributes for those two face-off guys, but I remember that game, a Saturday night at Manhasset, those two going at it, and then Stevie Fennell scoring the winner. You had Jake Peterson from Manhasset coming here in the rain, winning it in overtime. Who will be the hero today?
Iconic footage, that BTB we've been showing from Terenzi. You saw the American flag flying high. You know, this is as American as it gets on Long Island. The Blue Bloods, Manhasset, Garden City, getting ready to face it off.
It could be round one of two, both in Class B again this year. And if you were the odds makers, I would say you'd probably say the two favorites to meet for a county final at Stewart Stadium. They played last year in the semifinals. And it was interesting because this is pre-shot clock, right? So Manhasset, for 3 and 4 minutes at a time, held on to the ball, and they pulled out the win as we have our final handshakes, and it's time now for the opening face-off. And it's the freshman Bo Dillmeyer for Manhasset. And look at Luke Cascadin's percentage on the year, 79.5. There are some special ones at doing that craft, right? Quinn Ball up the road at Chaminade among them, but Luke Cascadin as good as it gets on Long Island at the face-off X.
Yeah, almost 80%, and that's going 16 for 26 against Baumgarth from Northport, or else it would be higher than close to 85%. But how about for a freshman, right, to get Luke Cascadin?
And Blake Cascadin gets the ground ball. And it will be Garden City ball. Dillmeyer, I think, did his job there. You want to just get it to muck it up and make it a ground ball battle.
Yeah, last year they even had Lachlan Fitzpatrick out there, in games trying to tie him up.
We'll see a lot of moving parts for Garden City, both in attack and midfield, guys who can play both.
Yeah, the matchups are really interesting.
And there's Coaster. Kick out up top. And there's Asaro.
Yeah, I love Coach Fennell. He's like, have you seen him? Have you seen the size of him in our meeting? The entire island is talking about Asaro.
Ground ball scooped up by Dan Medjid. And there's DeBuscher. We will restart here as Coaster brings it to X. Works off the screen. Coaster goes low and wide of the cage.
Little two-man action, little razor pick at GLE. Trying to get Coaster going early. He draws DePietro. Only a sophomore, but you better believe D1 schools are thinking already how we're going to get that kid on campus.
So advantage, at least early on, Manhasset, as now Garden City will try to ride back. Bulch surveys his options, comes to this near side. That's DePietro.
Good ride,
get it over.
Getting close to the time. Just in the nick of time.
You still have to get it in the box, though. And they do now, as the shot clock will start.
If you're Manhasset, you're happy. You kind of made it a 50-50 at the X. You had a good defensive stand. You had a patient clear.
And there's Tommy Leader. A guy who knows something about the big moments. Dylan Shear. Now wearing that number 4, Daniel O'Connor. They work it to X. That's where Colin operates.
You're looking for Petroselli there on like a scissor cut. Well defended by GC.
O'Connor. First offensive possession for Manhasset. Pumping the brakes. Colin goes back to his left. Colin! And Manhasset takes the 1-0 lead.
Big players step up. This is not his first wood stick. The kid has experience. This is his team, no longer in the shadow of Peterson and the Connors. And Riley takes it, goes left-handed, ricochets it in. Huge start by the Navy commit, who starts the boat, gets it a rockin' for set.
And we know Amplo likes what he sees there. Colin, goal number 28 on the season. And again, it becomes a little bit of a scrum, but Blake Cascadin, another GB for him.
Just a ridiculous athlete, Blake. All Long Island in football. Just took over in the Long Island Championship with 3 touchdowns. Second year he did that.
And he's played a variety of roles, right, for this team. Short stick D-Midi. Now he's got the long pole. And there's Berkery. Talk about athletes, right? A Thorpe Award winner as a junior. A finalist as a senior for that great football program. Here's Asaro. Downhill. Asaro!
Public Enemy said, don't believe the hype. Well, I believe the hype. Nassau County's been talking about number 14. Look at the size of this downhill Dodger. Snaps it off of his shoulder. Unbelievable job. 6'2". Unbelievable talent. 4-3 versus Syosset, 4 versus Pequot, 3-1 against Northport. Playing his best lacrosse.
All that adds up now to 20 goals on the season for one of the top sophomores on Long Island. That was an easy win now for Cascaded.
Sorrow had 5 goals and 5 assists last year. Gonna smash that this year. Really talented D-back and running back in football. If he ever just concentrated on lacrosse, scary.
I don't know if that's allowed around here.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Maybe college, you'll have to make a decision.
So another possession for the Trojans. And there is Coaster. Dynamic. Lefty, righty, athletic. He is a problem.
Just quick, head's always up. Can feed it, can shoot it.
Now Berkery tries to get downhill.
Yeah, Solora on the ball, Stony Brook commit, rangy, athletic.
Medjid rolls to his left. Medjid!
Senior, 7th goal on the year. 21 goals last year, 3 times on the varsity. Honorable mention All County last year. See him on attack, you see him at midfield. Does not matter. The kid knows how to score. He knows how to play. Another lacrosse family.
Yeah, his sister Amanda played an American. Jen Medjid, part of that national powerhouse at Boston College.
Medjid's really a two-handed player. You saw him roll back, use his left hand, beats ball stick side.
His 7th of the season. And again, advantage right now, Manhasset on the scrum.
Okay, freshman, I see you.
Dillmeyer does the job. The Manhasset faithful who fill the stands here to our right, appreciative of the effort.
Yeah, that faceoff just feels like it's worth 5 points.
And here is Marco Petroselli. Good to see him back on the field.
You see the confidence defense they have with Owen Wookta on the ball.
Petroselli spins. There's a save. Ball pops out loose. Goes right to the stick of LeSueur.
Yeah, Wookta was on the ball. Bucknell, 2-time All County, absolute stud. D-Mitty, good stop by Schliff.
And LeSueur, a name certainly, right? Synonymous with greatness at Garden City.
Yeah, Dad Paul played at Hopkins. Pete, 3-time All-American at Garden City. 6th scoring family all-time, 422 goals by the LeSueurs.
Step down, shot, and goal. Big Ben. Ben Smith.
Parliament, unbelievable. Ben Smith, a freshman, slick lefty, big and strong. Him and Asaro, the future of Garden City lacrosse. Well, the future is now. Came from the West Coast, lighting it up now for Garden City.
So back to the face-off as we go. Another stalemate there. And it's won by Cascadon. Cascadon! Fogo goal!
Yeah, the slide comes from DePietro. Luke Cascadon, athletic. He's a nose tackle in football, wreaks havoc. He has a nose for the goal after the face-off win here. Great job exiting out. Gets himself a fast break, a little hezzy to a berry. Unbelievable job, Luke Cascadon.
He will join Colin at Navy. 2nd goal of the year for Luke Cascadon.
Brother Jack had himself a good game, 61% against Yale, 18 draw wins.
So Manhasset trying to get a goal back. They can't dig themselves too big of a hole here against Garden City. Coming downhill is Leader. Colin with the kick out, and it's Shear. Shear, nice move by Shear. And a foul is called. A late flag was thrown after Shear got that shot off.
Yeah, on-ball defense was by Ruck, slide by Owen Wookta. Nice little move by Shear to create some separation.
And we'll see what the officials have here. This will be locked in for a minute.
Shear's been that guy for Manhasset.
And this against
Little
Wookta.
shake. Oh, it's from behind. They're calling it on Wookta, but it looks like the head contact came from behind with Merritt Ruck.
Well, either way, this is locked in for a minute. And you mentioned, right, key number 3 for Cromwell was the power play, right? The special teams.
Yeah, look for some kind of dive cut. Petroselli, someone feeding from that left-handed spot. Connor Sheeran, number 9, has been kind of the man-up goal scorer for set. Let's see what kind of set they run.
And here he is. Colin gets it right back.
Here he
Beach
comes.
GLE. Colin to the crease. Looking for Petroselli. Loose ball picked up, and now you have numbers if you can move it quick for Manhasset. The skip. Good recovery by Garden City.
Yeah, that time Sheeran set a little bit of a seal for up top as Petroselli snuck 2 different options on that man-up play.
10 on the man up here. Low shot blocked. I think Cascadin got a piece of that and a piece of Colin as well.
Great slide, unbelievable. Good recognition by him, understanding that Colin was going to pull the trigger like a heat-seeking missile to the ball.
So job well done by Garden City. They keel off that locked-in 1-minute penalty.
See Manhasset pretty confident allowing the goalie to handle it, but a great find by Schliff.
It's been interesting this week, so for Garden City, hasn't it? Because the games this year have come so fast that you haven't really had time to even really practice, right? Like it's recovery, film room, game. Recovery, film room, game. And it's been a full week for Garden City, and it's a week after a loss to Northport.
Yeah, starting the season late. A lot of the coaches are not big fans of that. It kind of really shrunk the season down.
Asaro.
These kids have to play 2, sometimes 3 games in a week. And, you know, with the power conference now that you're playing top opponents every single game, you're traveling out of state. Kind of not fair.
Asaro up top. That said, though, as that's a bouncer, you give Steve Fennell and his staff a full week to prepare for a Manhasset, and they will have their guys ready to go.
I think prepping, what was the date of the playoff game last year? The prepping probably started then. The final plan probably went in this week.
DiPietro, great clear from him.
Just a speed demon.
And Cromwell identified him as a key today, especially in the clearing game. So inside the final 3 minutes of the first quarter, 4-1 for Garden City.
It's scary that DiPietro was mostly used last year as a short stick D-midi, and seeing how good he is with the pole.
That's Doc O'Connor. Great intercept by Wukta. This is a guy who has played short stick D-midi on an elite level for 4 years.
Does it all. Plays man down, clears it, can play offense. Another family filled with lacrosse players, right? Tyler at Fairfield.
And he'll join a couple of Long Island guys, right, up at Bucknell on that side of the ball. Jack Tully from Chaminade. As here comes Asaro downhill. Excuse me, that's Berkery. And Berkery and errant pass trying to get it to Smith.
2 possessions in a row. Coach Fennell's not going to be happy with them. Kind of unforced turnovers.
Balch, ooh, that's an errant pass. Picked up by Berkery, so Manhasset gives it right back. Here's Wukta. You mentioned the lacrosse family for Wukta. Brother Tyler, Fairfield among them. The feed in front. And a nice, calm finish by Blake Cascadin.
His 5th goal on the year. Whether it's football or lacrosse, he can score. That's one of the easiest ones he's going to get. That's like a 1-yard plunge on the goal line. Coster finds him wide open. one of the last guys you want to leave with the opportunity to score.
And timeout Manhasset, all Garden City early on. The Trojans with a 5-1 lead. The mission of the Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Foundation is to spread the positive spirit of lacrosse and support the highest ethical standards for all participants. They do so through annual initiative, which includes targeted grants, scholarship programs, lacrosse educational clinics, and events to raise awareness and resources in support of the game. And some of those great events that they sponsor and or organize, of course, that great shootout for soldiers, that 24-hour event. We got the Hall of Fame, the outreach program, the Long Island Metro Cup, wheelchair and special needs lacrosse clinics, and so much more.
The Hall of Fame, right? Alan Lowe, 511 wins, Manhasset, Doc Doherty, Bill Cherry, and just, take your pick, right? The players that played in this game: Jim Brown, the Denahans, Barger, Bevilacqua, Kazalakis, Terenzi, DeConza, Gibbons, the Worstells, Dwyer, Ferrucci, Massey, McFarland, Gutterding. Just Long Island Metro. I don't know if there's enough room. They probably have a separate room for Garden City future, as well as our guys who are already in the Hall of Fame.
We'll have to tell Mike Nelson that. Mike today is usually in the booth with us, and now he's a proud dad right now. Son Scott, part of the goaltending group with Garden City, and lo and behold, shocker upon shockers, heading to Adelphi.
How about the Connor brothers, Liam and Rory? 15 points yesterday in an upset of Army.
That was a Colgate, right?
Oh, yeah, Colgate upsetting Army, going to the Patriot League final.
Cascadin, the clean win. Cascadin, the skip, the one more. Step down, great save by Balch.
Got it with a toe. Big toe save by Balch, much needed. Manhasset needs a little bit of a wake-up call. Maybe that's it. Kind of stubbing their toe early in this game.
And Kyle Melkonian kicks it ahead. And now inside the final minute, a possession where Manhasset can get a much-needed goal.
Garden City sliding really early to the Dodgers, sliding with aggression. See if you can move it to the backside.
Colin up top to Leader. Leader spins to his right. Getting topside. Great look to the crease. And they will call a crease violation. It's hard to blame Connor Sheeran on that.
Schliff says, I can match you, Brady. I can match your toe from my toe. Good save. Nice find. I think Petroselli. Good job finding the backside. I think off ball is going to be crucial for Manhasset. GC seems very happy sliding early to the Dodgers.
Asaro swims to his left. Split dodge. Ball is loose. Balch, look out. He's bringing the physicality to Asaro. Love it.
Yeah, Asaro was going straight down Rockaway. Took a rock hit to get him.
.2 seconds.
Looks like he broke his stick, the goalie. I'm telling you, that's the last thing you want. That is a goalie's nightmare. One of them's your baby, the other one's a backup that you hope you never have to use.
He did it himself, though, on Asaro's back. As the first quarter ends, advantage to Garden City.
Get that screwdriver. Switch that head on that stick, Brady.
And Luke Cascadin, the Fogo goal. Put that on your bingo card.
Fennell said he's good at the exit. Well, he exit out the backside. Great thing about it, you score, you get to go do it again.
5-1 Garden City after one on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson, you're watching Varsity Media.
Chief Graphics specializes in custom graphics and signs, helping schools, businesses, and organizations bring their vision to life. Their one-stop shop provides in-house design, fabrication, and installation services, from press box graphics, wraps, mesh field signage, tents and backdrops, dimensional signs and letters, to senior recognition posters and donor recognition displays. Chief Graphics delivers custom solutions that make a statement. And making a statement in the first quarter, Brian Soper with the boys in white.
Perfect start for them. The ability to score goals in waves. You had a pole goal, you had a face-off goal.
Both by Cascadens.
Twins, I believe.
Let me go back to the face-off X. Dillmeyer and Cascadin. And stalemate, at least momentarily, before Cascadin emerges. Gets it to Wukta. And there is Asaro. The funny thing is, right, like you said, when Fennell said to us, have you seen him? The funny thing is, if you're just coming here and you're a neutral, you don't know, you're going to look at him and say, who's that senior 14? Where is he committed to?
Yeah, which one of these does not look like the other?
There's the Busher from X. Spins there, looks for options. He's got the short stick. Now the kickoff, sidearm shot. I think that was Coster to do so. And my apologies before. Had the mispronunciation. It is Coster. As Smith, good feed. On the run is Coster.
Good feed by Smith. Little out of bounds play by GC. No backup, give it to Set.
Good one just up the road as well at Gold Star Stadium. It's Chaminade and Del Barton doing battle on the Varsity Media Sports Network. What a great day of lacrosse on the island.
Yeah, down the road, Adelphi's got a big matchup going for conference championship, St. Awesome.
That shows you how much this means to Brian Soper that he is here and not at Matamid Field.
Hoping to avenge their one loss of the year, the defending champs.
Pumping a break, Shear kicks it to X, to Colin.
Good job on ball by Ruck.
Yeah, slid right away.
Bring the ruckus.
And now here comes Colin, a little hop, a little skip. Looking for a moment there, a little bit like Joey Terenzi did.
Dengler's just a sophomore, been starting a little bit since his freshman year. Drew the Colin assignment, he's the cover guy.
Low shot, and the save is made by Schliff. Look at Wukta.
Yeah, he was on the ball defense there, broke out right away, catches it one-handed, starts transition. He brings the ruckus.
What a transition moment. Wukta with a great basket catch, and then Merritt Ruck.
Starts with a save, though, Dill. Unbelievable job, great possession, little D-mid to D-mid. Don't call us a D-mid because we can stick it too. Little goalie change, Dill. Got the right-hander in there.
So Ruck, his second of the season.
Is that Griffith?
Yeah, we were not sure if we'd see him today. Certainly not from the start. Balch was the starter.
Yeah, Griffith had injured his knee earlier in the season. Franklin and Marshall commit.
And you can see the wrap on that right knee as well. Over and back, so Manhasset ball. And there you see, in the cage, 15. for Manhasset, Henry Griffith. Here's Colin.
Yeah, Cromwell hoping for a spark. Putting Griffith back in, maybe to spark the Manhasset team. It's Gus Galley, sophomore lefty. Brother of Julian, who you see at the midfield. Dad was a 95 All-American at GC, went on to play at Notre Dame. Lacrosse runs deep in the Galley family.
O'Connor. And now it's Colin. Trying to get downhill. Colin, the bouncer. It is wide, but there is 6 seconds. I think that's enough to get a shot off.
How good was Colin in that game last year in the semis? 3 goals.
Colin switches to his left. Shot clock violation. So now Manhasset will try to set up their ride. Clearing was an issue for Garden City against Northport, another very good riding team. Not yet today, though.
This guy's not a bad option.
I was going to say, it helps when you could punt return it with a Thorpe Award winner. And a timeout is called. Design, build, and maintain your dream home. J&R Custom Landscaping has been proudly offering landscape design for over 30 years. Give them a call today, 516-250-8461. And Brian Soper, if you drive through this community, I think you see a lot of J&R's handiwork around these well-manicured lawns of Garden City.
Unbelievable company. They do a great job. Nothing better than, you know, when the spring comes in the summer, the lawns, the foliage, the flowers. Give J&R a call. Could use a little on Poplar Street. I am a resident of Garden City.
There's a look at some of the fans and Soap. Look at that. Packed student section to our right here for Manhasset. There's a look inside the Garden City huddle now. That game, so the Terenzi game and the behind the back goal, that was great because it was right out of COVID and it was the first game where you could have fans and not have restrictions. And these two communities came out, poured out into the stands, huge crowds. And Terenzi attacking this goal right now with that ball. I don't know if it was that actual ball, but,
yeah, but it was,
might
like,
have been
it was
retired.
right around like the 13-yard line. He did like a backflip to put it in the net. Like in our open, this is a game, you know, dads have played in, grandpas have played in, the stories you must hear around the dinner table. Just amazing. Fitzpatrick, George Asaro.
And the pressure that must put on the current players, right?
Look at this matchup. Kyle Melkonian 6'2" on Asaro 6'2".
Oh, Asaro shakes him, goes low, just wide.
Big time matchup. I want to see it. Don't switch it. Keep it on there.
To Busher, hands off. Coster lowered the shoulder, turns. Coster, the skip pass. And there is Asaro. A little shake, a little bake, a little swim, blows a tire, keeps the ball. Coster back to his left. The feed, spin, chaos. Shot clock violation. Manhasset has done a lot of good things on the other side of the ball, right? It's on this side. And again, huge credit goes to this Garden City defense that only gives up 6.5 goals a game.
It's a great slide by Tommy Guerin from Manhasset. Huge upside on that kid, only a freshman.
Colin feeds. That is O'Connor. And up top to Leader. There's that slide on the dodge, as you mentioned.
Just wreaks havoc.
Well, Cascadin certainly does that.
Yeah, as drawing Lesore is not hard enough, the Binghamton commit.
And O'Connor, Doc.
What's up, Doc?
He takes advantage. So off of that hit, and there's a flag, or is that going to be picked up here? I think it just fell out. But it was Cascadin who ran off. So you'll see at the top of your screen an LSM flying in, but advantage Manhasset, and a great job. There you see it, right? Cascadin runs off, and now Doc's like, wait a minute, we've got numbers.
Yeah, on a day with the Kentucky Derby, right? Doc going, he's going to the Mules. Will look more like a well-conditioned thoroughbred there with showing off his range. Huge goal by the senior.
You know what you love here too as well, Soap? It's such a packed house in the stands that you've got the action behind the goal, behind Schliff's goal, right? All the fans watching there. It's almost like the sideline at Arletta, right? And just people hanging out, or Hawk Hill at St. Joe's.
You always see that at these games, even if it's not Garden City Manhasset. The amount of youth that have a stick in their hand, that are playing on the side fields. It's not shocking that both these teams are always really good.
Berkery and Asaro play catch up top. 6-2 the lead for Garden City. Now Asaro tries to get downhill. Asaro beats his man. Asaro! Great save by Griffith.
Griffith ate that one. Once Asaro gets going downhill, it's very difficult to stop. He's either going to put it on net. Three things can happen: a goal, a save, or he can shoot it wide. Really hard to stop him.
Melkonian picks option B. And a flag is thrown against Garden City. So a free possession right now for Manhasset. Down by 4 with 5 to go in the first half.
It's big 5 minutes here if you're Manhasset. Definitely want to try to cut this lead to 2.
O'Connor goes GLE. O'Connor gets it! Good goal!
Coach Cromwell's been waiting for him to really break out on the offensive end. Could it be today? Could it be in the wood stick for this senior? Scores one from range. How about that split dodge? Unbelievable job. Gets underneath, kind of splits to an S dodge. Gets himself a better angle. Gets that stick upfield. Buries the rock. All right, O'Connor. We see ya.
And this is an and one as well. So the goal is good. And it's a timeout for Garden City because it's a 1-minute penalty that stays on the board.
This is as much as a timeout momentum, and I think Coach Fennell wants to have a little chat with the referee crew.
Well, folks, want to remind you that the 2025 Nassau County playoffs, they are right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We are the exclusive rights holders to the biggest games in the 5-1-6, whether it's at Matamet Field for the girls, whether it's at Stewart Stadium for boys lacrosse, Farmingdale State College. You want to watch your team in the biggest games, you have to order it. VarsityMediaPass.com is where you go. Don't forget as well, we mentioned Chaminade before, right now locked in a 2-goal game with Del Barton. Well, the biggest game of the year for these two programs, who are two of the best in the country. That is also at Stewart Stadium at Hofstra. For my money, the best lacrosse-specific location in the country. And St. Anthony's in Chaminade will lock horns for the Nassau Suffolk CHSAA AAA Championship. Round 1 went to Chaminade. Kieran Walsh a save at the final horn, wearing 44, going to Notre Dame like Liam Entenmann. And will St. Anthony's have the response, or will Chaminade sweep the series and win a championship yet again?
It's championship season, right? NCAA lacrosse, making our way towards Hofstra for the boys. Who you got in the A's? It's wide open. GC Manhasset maybe again. Southside's making some noise with comebacks.
I'll tell you, Manhasset made some noise yesterday, right? An impressive rivalry win over Farmingdale. They were the preseason #1.
Cold Spring Harbor sitting there looking for another state run in the D's.
What a big face-off win for Cats. A man-down face-off win for Cascadon. And now Manhasset was bringing the pain. He gets it to Wookta.
Yeah, the nose tackle, he took on Shear like he was a center. Ran right through him. Just a low center of gravity by Luke Cascadon makes him a difficult man to take down.
Now Medjid will jog to X. 30 seconds left on this man down for Garden City. And already you can see Manhasset, right, kind of conceding it. You get your defensive personnel on now as Coster has it at X.
Yeah, good to see. Looks like Cooper Harley's in there. The Dickinson commit, the junior. We thought he might be out. Good to see him out there playing D-Midi.
An errant pass there, and Manhasset will get the ball. They have chipped away at this deficit.
Next goal's huge.
Griffith comes this way to Salura, the Stony Brook commit.
Good job, Salura, finding leader.
Sometimes it's just a simple pass, right?
Manhasset's been very good this year, clearing the ball. Kind of have to. Want to maximize your possessions. A little young at the face-off X with Beschel and Dillmeyer.
And it's been both, right? Very good on the clear and very good on the ride. Petroselli lost it.
Good slide by Declan Wookta. Rutrow.
There's Cascadon. Wookta. Start that 60-second shot clock. And the funny thing is, right, so many people thought of Garden City when they thought of the shot clock coming in because they were so deliberate. But they've proven, as they prove now, you bring a shot clock in, it doesn't matter. There's still Garden City as Berkery buries it.
In a way, it adds more to the Garden City ability to get out in transition. Unbelievable job, great find. Dan Medjid, you see his versatility being both an attackman and a midfielder. Finds Berkery, kind of a slow break trailer situation. Villanova commit, Berkery, real student athlete, great student, great lacrosse player, great lacrosse family. Big goal for the Trojans.
His 7th of the year, and he makes it a 7-3 lead. But a lot of people on the island who probably maybe didn't recognize how great Garden City is said, oh, well, shot clock, that's going to take away what they do. No, that's not true. Basically, Fennell and his staff, they just played within the rules. Whatever rules you want to put out there, they're going to manage it and do well with it. Here's Asaro getting downhill.
Yep.
Asaro knocked down.
Whatever rules there are, when you give up 4.5 goals a game last year and only give up 6.5 this year,
yeah,
I don't care what the rules are, you're going to win a ton of ball games.
Midfield pickoff by Smith. BTB, what a save by Griffith.
That was almost in the Terenzi spot.
That was almost a Charlie Coster, are you serious moment as there's a flag down.
Good pickoff by Ben Smith. super bright future. 15-7 is just an 8th grader.
Let's see what this foul is here. We'll get the call at the table.
Just a ton of defense if you're Manhasset. See Fitzpatrick with his head over his hands over his head. Got to be tired.
And a timeout called by Manhasset.
Great timeout. Definitely saw them a little bit weary. Love it.
And these two, Brian Soper, are two of the most historic programs on the island. Look at some of those numbers for Manhasset.
Yeah, state titles, All-Americans, legendary names. Jim Brown, 1,126 all-time wins. Coach Alan Lowe, good job. Strani, right, bringing lacrosse to Manhasset in 1932.
Yeah, you shout out Jim Brown, and essentially after that, like the kids say today, say less, right?
Yeah.
It is the conversation ends there with the greatest ever lacrosse player. In Garden City, yeah, they've had some great players as well. Look at those numbers for the Trojans. Of course, Pete Lesor, a 3-time All-American in 99, 2000, and 2001. You have Brian Fisher as well, a 3-time All-American, played at Harvard.
Yeah, Justin Gutterding. Just unbelievable. The Krause, Andy Krause, right, his son's out here today, one of the Mount Rushmore players ever, the Worstel family. Just unbelievable. Dwyer.
In recent years, you had 2-time All-Americans in Brendan Staub and Jack Cascadden. Colin Hart was a 2-time All-American as well. And here we go, big man-up opportunity for Garden City. Good ball movement for the Trojans. Great knockdown as well, and we'll go the other way.
Good job. You know, what do you do if you're Timmy Gettleman, right? One of the all-time great players, Lizards, Manhasset. You live in Garden City. Your daughters play. I don't know where he's sitting. Let's see where Tim is. If he's in the middle or
You got to be Switzerland, don't you?
I don't know. Could be sitting with Kaz and the Manhasset boys.
Tommy Leader, look out. Ball is loose.
Good stick check by Gus Galley.
And there's Asaro. Smith. Numbers. Finish as well.
Chase Krause. Ben Smith's kind of been that guy on the spot. Picked off a pass, gets a bouncer here. His head's up, finds Chase. Again, Dad Andy, 2-time All-American, 85 and 86. Brother Carson at Hamilton scored 16 goals as a freshman.
Cooper is spending a PG year at Westminster, and what a huge goal, right? If you're in that Manhasset sideline or at the half, you're saying we can't make these kind of mistakes.
So many times coaches say the beginning and ending of quarters are so important.
Dillmeyer gets a face-off win, gets it to Colin. Colin harassed out at midfield.
Be huge to get a goal here.
Inside the final 30 seconds of the first half, like the girls' game before it, which has been owned by Garden City. And it's been on this side of the ball that they have been so good, Garden City.
A good on-the-ball defense, kind of shutting Colin. You see Dengler's like, not going to let him touch it, but he's going to pick it up here, 11.3. Look for Colin to use a pick and go hard to the rack.
Here he comes, Colin. They slide his way. Colin tries to split it. He's on the turf, surrounded by Trojans. And then a flag is thrown.
Great double team. They do jump the pick. However, got a little bit over aggressive here. Perhaps it's the wax when he's down. that draws the slide. But Berkery and Dengler, a senior and a sophomore.
So Lesueur will go in for a 1-minute slash. And if you're Manhasset, with 0.3 seconds left, you can go into the second half without a face-off and have really a full 1-minute man up to play with as well. But offensively and defensively, Garden City has brought it. So has Michael Berkery.
Watch him here. Little slow break action. Hit the trailer. Berkery hands free. Right inside the pipe. A picture-perfect wood stick first half if you're Garden City.
8-3 Trojans at the break. You're watching it here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Pole goal, yes! A man down pole goal as well. Busking, the skip somehow found its way through. BTB and a save.
At the buzzer, we had
The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase is the premier opportunity for the high school players from Long Island to be recognized for their lacrosse skills. For over a decade, this event has been widely recognized as the premier event for exposure before college coaches of all levels. Players showcase their abilities while competing to earn a spot to represent their county in the Long Island Showcase Nassau versus Suffolk Games. Hosted in collaboration with the high school lacrosse coaches of Nassau and Suffolk counties, the Long Island Lacrosse Showcase had over 90 college coaches attend various rounds of the showcase. Make sure to register today.
Two-man game.
Nice save up high.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
And we welcome you back to Garden City High School. It is the 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic, and it's the Trojans with an 8-3 lead. And Soap, that snack stand is packed right now. That's fine with us. Listen, I'm sure they have great offerings over there. There's no doubt about it. We've got it better, though.
I was carrying this tray in, and people were offering me money for it, but I just couldn't do it. It's our first food review of the year, just by kinfolk, Tim O'Hagan, bringing a really great market to Rockville Center.
And there you see it, Kinfolk Corner Deli. The gourmet deli there over at 19 Clinton in Rockville Center. So we had some breakfast, right? We had the knuckle sandwich.
It knocked you out, Dill. I had to wake you up.
I know. And we're ready now for lunch, right? It is lunchtime. I'm going to ask you to eat this responsibly because it is what? It's the drunken chicken?
People ask me, how do you like your chicken? I'm like, grilled, fried. I like it drunk.
He likes it
right?
drunk.
I like it drunk, right? This is the drunken chicken. It's chicken cutlet with vodka sauce, a little fresh mozzarella. Dill, you had a special order. You asked for the Nico.
I got the Nico. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, you got to hook me up with this.
You know,
it is everything that I like to have in a sandwich.
This is a pepper and egg. Enough said. This is for Mr. Ben Turchin later. Sweeney's got the RVC cheesesteak. He's going to lock down on after this. But
so and in mine, I got the same with you a little bit. I got the breaded chicken cutlet, little prosciutto, little fresh mozzarella, balsamic vinaigrette, everything that I like in a sandwich.
Fresh ingredients, handcrafted. Forget about it. Kinfolk.
Ready?
Yeah, let's rock. Yeah, buddy. I just love a chicken sandwich that, like, it's not it's filled with sauce, but it's not sloppy. It's not coming across in my hands. I don't need to wear it. Just an unbelievable sandwich. This thing has absolutely zero chance today.
Nico was outstanding.
Yeah?
Incredible.
Your eyes lit up yesterday when you saw that on the menu.
It lived up to the hype.
But kinfolk, right, the motto, great food brings people together. Dill, that brings us together. Coach Hungerford in California brings this crowd together.
Can we get the official thumbs up from Hungy as well?
Drunk chicken for the win.
The Hungy thumbs up. Coming up.
There he is.
There he is.
I'll send you
Hungy approved in San Diego.
Thanks, Coach O'Hagan and your entire staff at Kinfolk.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hit the spot, baby.
We'll take a quick break and see if we can eat as much of this as we can here during the timeout.
If you don't hear us at halftime, we'll be there shortly.
We'll be back after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media. Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at Garden City. Getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper. Let's take a look, Soap, at some of those first half stats.
Yeah, face-off advantage just jumps off the page. 10 out of 12 for Cascadon. GB's going GC way, not shocking with the way the X is going. Both sets of goalies from Manhasset, 2 apiece. Schliff's made 2, hasn't had to be too busy out shooting GC. 7 turnovers for GC. The one thing you'd probably want to say you want to clean up. I think if you're Coach Manhasset Cromwell, you hit the reset button, say 0-0. Let's start over.
The second half starts without a face-off because of that penalty at the very end. So Manhasset gets to start quarter number 3. 1 minute, man up.
You had Sheeran seal last time. He's been the man-up scorer on a lot of these plays by Manhasset.
And Phil Palumbo's been really good, too, on the man-up. He's in there, too, number 31. From distance, O'Connor.
2 goals for Doc in the second quarter. 1 from range, 1 from goal line extended.
O'Connor again. The feed, Colin, the bouncer, is wide.
Nice job by Colin to step into that seam.
And he knew that Cascadon was coming. Final 30 seconds of this man up.
A 5-man rotation for GC. Nice save by Schliff.
Yeah, it goes down low to get it.
His 3rd save of the game.
And a timely one at that. You don't want to give Manhasset, that's now Berkery with the long pole. You don't want to give Manhasset some juice to start the third quarter with a man-up goal.
Manhasset's been their best quarter of the season. Their third quarter has been really good. They've been outscoring teams. So if you're GC, I think the first 4 or 5 minutes of this third quarter is really important.
And there is Asaro. He is an absolute nightmare of a matchup. He goes to the outside netting. What a great clearance by Griffith. He finds Shear. Dylan, Shear. Shear! What a save!
Schliff may have had some kinfolk, some sandwiches at halftime like us. He's feeling good. 2 saves in a row. That's by far his best save of the game. Off of Shear, who's been really that up and down midi for Manhasset.
And a good take by Shear as well.
Great take. Great outlet. You see the wheels that Shear has. But that save was sheer madness by Schliff.
Here's Chase Krause, one of the 5, no more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different goal scorers for 8 goals for Garden City in the first half.
Asaro's really, you can see he's really the initiator. Him and Coster.
Asaro swims to his left.
Really like this pick game at the goal line extended. Makes it real difficult on the defense. Either switch, stay with it.
Step down shot. Griffith had a good read on it. Wide of the net.
4 seconds left on the shot clock. No reset.
Yeah, Garden City.
Oh, there was a reset.
Oh, so they did make a save.
Got a piece of it.
Big edge there to Garden City, huh?
Good job by the shot clock operator to wait for the referee's call. little zone action for Manhasset.
Well, actually, they're down a man.
Okay.
For 30. So that's, I think, why they got the ball back. Shot by Coster.
Yeah, it looks like Sheeran or number 9. Somebody might be serving the foul.
One more. Asaro. Knocked down in front. Look at Asaro. Bullying his way to try to get that GB.
Choo-choo.
And now transition. Numbers to Colin. They'll slide to him. You know that.
Great job by Dangler. Colin wanted to take that opportunity. Great feat by Dangler.
And now it's O'Connor. 2 of the 3 goals for Manhasset. Colin has the other. And O'Connor works off the screen.
Henry Ledbetter in there for Manhasset, 43.
Here's Colin. Spins. Colin! Wide of the far post.
CGC sub there to do everything. Owen Wookta back on the field.
10 seconds left on the shot clock. Rounding the cage, pumping the brakes, looking for options. The feed in front. Shot over the bar by Sheeran.
Great defense on the ball by Berkery. Petroselli had a nice feed to Sheeran.
Now they will ride. And again, you give Garden City a full week on this field to practice against the Manhasset Ride. They figure ways out.
And, the coach, Coach Fennell's, take those possessions and make something of it. Garden City has 20 shots on the net, been pretty efficient offensively. That's why 7 turnovers at the half. You want to cut that down because they've been pretty opportunistic with their opportunities.
Great atmosphere, as always is the case here at Garden City. Just great scenes, right? You have all the flags across the way by the benches, the activity by the snack stand and behind the goal, packed stands, students out in numbers. It's the 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic.
See Julian Galley, 22 out there. Senior. Been chipping in on both ends for GC.
Costa the roll, the sidearm shot by DeBuscher.
Nice job by Costa drawing 2, finding DeBuscher.
And they will reset the shot clock.
Definitely want to can those or at least get it on cage, make the goalie make a save. Gave him a reset.
I think so. I think Griffith got a piece, says it's Asaro. Goal line extended, and Griffith down low with the denial.
Looks like Manhasset went a little zone there. Good job by Ben Smith getting to the front of the net. Maybe take one more step, low angle, but snuffed out by Henry Griffith, the future diplomat.
Sheer literally takes a step in. It's like dipping his foot into the pool there.
Who can win a matchup?
Yeah.
Either win a matchup or draw a slide and get it to the backside so someone can attack a defense that's not slide ready.
That was one off the side of the net. Colin, they're calling a crease violation. So Garden City ball.
That was a good take. I think that was Tommy Leader. Nice job getting to the goal mouth. Just hit the pipe.
And the clearing game has been outstanding for Garden City. And it's almost solely been punt returns by multiple different guys.
Yeah, junior Merritt Ruck, two-way type midi, really finding himself on the field, being a clear machine.
Chase Krause now. Hands off. Shielding it was Julian Galley.
2 goals for him on the year.
Charlie Coster has been limited to 1 assist. He's got 36 and 13 on the year. Another save by Griffith.
Another one off of... That was Chase Krause. Krause does a good job getting back in the hole.
And a flag is down.
Some real sneaky in tight saves by Griffith. Good job locking it down.
So free possession for Manhasset. Here's Colin. The feed to the crease, trying to find Sheeran. And GC was offside. The funny thing, if you watch that possession, if you watched Chase Krause, he was telling the other guy, come on, like join us because we're already offside.
Can't be offside twice.
Right. So another man-up opportunity for Manhasset. 30 seconds for this one.
Got to go to the well, Coach Cromie. Go with the best one. You need a G.
Well, the advantage here, of course, right, with more room to operate, the slides become more difficult. So there should be some room to maneuver here for Manhasset.
Find Connor Sheeran.
Petroselli slings it. The bouncer, O'Connor, got a piece of the pipe.
Pipe's been unkind to Set. Schliff loves the pipes right now. They're his best friend.
11 seconds left, man up. Colin up top, we are even.
Just well done by GC. Really connected man down unit. Going 5-man rotation.
Wook the defending. Great job by him. And this will be Garden City ball.
It's the one thing you got to love about Colin. The kid, sells out. He goes hard to the cage. Takes on all defenders. Got off a shot. Another save by Schliff here in the third quarter. Goalie interference was the call. Free clear for Garden City.
GC leads this one 8-3. Asaro. He's been a difference maker here today. Probably of all of the players in that attacking six, so the most active, the most dangerous. Asaro, sidearm shot, and Griffith again.
Yeah, Griffith's been locked in, seeing the ball well, flying his hands to the ball. Sophomore has no conscience, right? He has a green light to shoot, fire. Just be yourself, young man.
Here's O'Connor and Manhasset. Listen, they've had the possessions, right? They've had opportunities. But this Garden City defense has been stifling.
Everything's just so contested. Even the shots, there's always a guy on your hands, in your back pocket.
Split dodge, step down. Petroselli, a great look. The rebound, bouncer by Leader is wide.
Schliff in the zone right now. He's a new man in this third quarter. Got that one on the offside.
Colin forced it, and there's Skadden coming the other way.
Just been a little off. They just haven't been able to complete those passes. Manhasset's 0 for 3 on the man up. Those power play situations are so important. Just not able to cash in today.
How about up the road? Chaminade beating Del Barton. It's the Flyers, man. Red hot. Del Barton, one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, the Walsh, the goalie, Ball, they have a Garden City address.
Gillis has been outstanding for them. Balsamo. There's a flag down inside the final minute of the third quarter.
Yeah, Melkonian, football player as well, on Asaro.
Asaro, wide. So we'll have the penalty as Manhasset will be a man down. I think they're trying to. All right, so it's 30 seconds offside.
.26 shots for Garden City. Been a bit of shooting gallery down there. Uh-oh.
Another one, step down, and that is finding the back of the net. A man-up goal. Ben Smith gets his second of the game.
That one was too easy. Manhasset's 0 for 3 on their man up. They give up an easy one here. Definitely a rotation missed. Costa's the last. Ben Smith is one of the last guys you want to see in white, staring down a step down. Big lefty. 16 goals on the year. Future is so bright for that kid. He's picked off a few passes, had a nice assist, and a man-up goal.
Garden City feels like they're like Thanos, right, with all the rings on them.
Have yourself a wood stick, Ben Smith.
Cascadin, another face-off win. Here comes Berkery. Wukta. The hitch. Nice save by Griffith to deny Coster.
Nice to have Henry Griffith back in between the pipes for Manhasset.
And the quarter ends with a flag down against Garden City. I think it was, right? Or was it Manhasset? Well, we'll figure that out when we come back. But listen, and with so many shots coming your way, right?
The future Red Dragon, he's been breathing some fire in the third quarter. He might be long snapping for Cortland, but he's on fire right now in the pipes for the Trojans.
9-3 Garden City heading to the fourth quarter next in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Chief Graphics specializes in custom graphics and signs, helping schools, businesses, and organizations bring their vision to life with in-house design, fabrication, and installation services, making them a one-stop shop for all graphic needs. From retail signage, wall and floor wraps, vehicle graphics, wayfinding signage, Chief Graphics delivers custom solutions that make an impact. And what an impact these Trojans soap are making on this latest edition of the Woodstick Classic.
Starts at the X with Luke Cascadin. Great third quarter. for Jake Schliff. A lot of different scorers for GC, real balance. It's the fourth man up coming up for Manhasset. Got to start cashing in.
And getting late early here for Manhasset. Colin. In our conversation with Steve Fennell, right, didn't take a rocket scientist, certainly.
Another pipe for set.
To recognize that Colin is the guy who makes this whole thing run. And they've done a great job negating Colin, limiting him to just the one goal.
Such a juice player, right? One goal for him equals 3 for other people about how excited he gets.
There's Leader. Gets it to X.
Shutting off Colin.
That's Wukta on him. O'Connor pumps the brakes. Tries to shed the tackle and gets the finish. A house call for Doc.
It's his third goal of the game. We saw one from range, a step down. We saw a GLE inside move. How about the rollback? I'm going lefty. Nope. Put on the brakes. Spin back to your right. Low to low will go. Doc O'Connor, future Colby player. Been the best guy on the field in blue.
He has. Came into this game with 8 goals. Now he's got 11 on the season. And it's 9-4 now. As we head back to the face-off X. That was a good idea by Dillmeyer. Tried to kind of hike it backwards. But this is Garden City's day. They still come away with it. Wukta, the handoff, split dodge. You cannot silence Charlie Coster.
Just Wukta, Owen Wukta does so much. Wide receiver in football, plays the wings, 2-time All-County, gets the ball to Coster with his right hand, gets to the middle of the field. One of the best shooters on Long Island. Forget about it if he gets free there.
Goal number 37 on the year for the junior bound for Lehigh.
Great skills. He's two-handed. He has quickness. You have quickness and you can shoot with both hands, you're going to play Division I lacrosse.
That's the other scary thing, right, about this Garden City team. Look up and down the roster, right? Coster, DeBuscher, Smith, they'll all be back next year. And Sorrow, Kraus.
And, you know, everyone's like, oh, you might lose Cascadin, but you have Braden Robertiello. We haven't really called his name yet. He took a lot of draws as an 8th grader. He was QB1 for Coach Ettinger. That kid's going to fill the face-off role and, you know, rinse and repeat.
Lowering the shoulder, the skip. It's a Sorrow. Sorrow checks the shot clock behind him.
Got a slide to collide here.
Sorrow swims, loses it. Good defense for Manhasset. Double deuce. Melkonian.
Assaro's a physical specimen. He's still a raw lacrosse player. When those two things equal out, then there's Division I, ACC, wherever you want to go type things. But you got to live and die with that. You know, turn over here, turn over there. He's just a freak athletically who's going to really grow into his role as a lacrosse player.
Save down low.
Yeah, good shot. Good job by Schliff getting down low. If you're Petroselli, some of the easiest saves for a goalie are at his feet. Want to place that one a little better.
all Garden City in this 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic. It was in the regular season last year as well. And then Manhasset, as the underdog, they got their revenge at Stewart Stadium. And if you poll, certainly everyone in attendance here today, but you go around Long Island, and they will tell you we'll likely see a round 2 back at Hofstra as Charlie Koster rang it off the pipe.
Gets a reset, probably more important. Yeah, I mean, that team in Manhasset last year, you lose guys like Pat Arnold, Mike Mondiello, Luca Petroselli, Jack Mulholland, Matt Im in the cage. Definitely some pieces that have to be replaced. But so far, they've been doing a good job filling in, finding guys. They'll be ready if they meet again, for sure.
And Cromwell, in our conversation, said he liked the timing of this game. Right? Took some lumps early on to Ridgefield and Darien at home. That shot.
Another pipe.
Another pipe, another reset. But they learned from those losses, and they got healthy, and they're a better team today. But Garden City on the day showing their class.
Another positive, it seems you got your goalie back. Your starter, Griffith, has looked good since he replaced somewhere early in the first half.
26, James Bremer, the lefty, the senior, part of that second midfield unit. Koster, some separation, and he hits the pipe.
It's been Pipe City in the second half for both teams. Make sure the statisticians, those are saves in the Soper book.
Spoken like a true goalie. Colin, and that's forced in front.
Yeah, good side by Luke Lesueur.
And Schliff went for like a walkabout. And we've got a timeout. You want to design, build, and maintain your dream home? Well, J&R Custom Landscaping has been proudly offering landscape design for over 30 years. Give them a call today, 516-250-8461. And the mission of the Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Foundation is to spread the positive spirit of lacrosse and support the highest ethical standard for all participants. They do so through annual initiatives, which include targeted grants, scholarship programs, lacrosse educational clinics, and events to raise awareness and resources in support of the game. Some tremendous initiatives that they are part of, which includes the wheelchair and special needs lacrosse clinics, the officials observation programs, the Lax Like a Girl tournament, and so much more.
Mark your calendars, July 9th through the 10th. The shootout for soldiers will be taking place on Long Island. Just an unbelievable event. Long Island comes together, shows up, plays games throughout the night.
What time is your game, 2:35 a.m.?
Yeah, I think it's 2:30, so I think I might take a nap, wake up around 1, quick little warm-up, make a few saves.
I was going to say, you're not hitting any of those establishments around on Main Street in Farmingdale first.
No, it's just 7-Eleven, buttered roll, cup of tea. What a great organization. Do tremendous things. We need more officials. We need more diversity. We need to make sure that those with special needs can enjoy this great game as well. And the Metro Lacrosse Foundation does all of that.
I think Mike Nelson, I'm not even sure if he, well, actually, you know what? The time change helped him. We had a conversation earlier. There's a game out in Bethpage, right? coming up that the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation is part of. And he was worried about the timing of this game as it related to that game and thought he had to jet Garden City early to make it to Bethpage for that one. And the scheduling change helped him out a great deal. As there is Asaro. Garden City has just put this game into a chokehold. Now Manhasset, they're not going to tap out. But GC has been in control for quite a long time.
Breaking news, the Adelphi Panthers have beat St. Alsam in overtime.
Well, we'll ask you to pull up that box score because I think the odds are pretty good. Someone from the island maybe scored that winner.
Yeah, and Dylan Renner probably had a bunch of saves.
And a shot clock violation against Garden City. 5:18 left. 10-4. Trojans lead.
Yeah, 6 goals from Michael Dernan from Massapequa leads the Panthers.
His brother part of that Massapequa team that beat the rival Dalers yesterday. And another save. Petroselli denied by Schliff.
Been making it look easy down low. Maybe you want to get those bouncers a little higher, test them up top. Schliff's been good down low. Sometimes you see a goalie 6 foot and above. You think he might be vulnerable down low. Seems to be the strength of Jake Schliff.
Another flag thrown.
It's 8 saves for Jake Schliff. Had 2 at halftime, so 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 saves in the second half. Great job by him.
And Garden City will utilize all of this shot clock, which is now down to 10 on this free possession.
See number 6, James Ledbetter, senior. Does his job very well for the Manhasset defense.
This will be a 1-minute slash against Manhasset. So when it rains, it pours for set. Asaro up top. Coster is there. Back to Asaro. Asaro, Griffith, a great save.
He's been real good. Not only making saves, but controlling rebounds. Looks like 15 is back for set.
And as you said, right, that's the good news out of this one. And they still have some big games on their schedule, right? Manhasset does. We'll get them at home against Southside. And then, of course, as well, Reeves Rock, the always anticipated game. That one will be at Gold Star Stadium this year.
Yeah, Calhoun, Coach Feminella, Southside, call them the comeback kids. Having a couple back-to-back wins, beating Wantaw, took down Syosset, scoring I think 6 goals each in the fourth quarter.
How many people around were like, "You lost so many of your stars. This was a one-off."
And the face-off, I think they went 24 out of 26. Alec Notaro was great against Wantaw.
Don't have Melconian anymore.
Just need a little, the coaches just need a little ammunition to fire the boys up. And you see that last game against Coach Sorensen and Roslyn.
And you see what
Josh
Garden
Berger
City has coming up as well. Somers is scary good right now. Look out for Somers.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now.
Cold Spring Harbor, it's always a really great game. Two absolute tacticians coaching those teams with Coach Bond, Coach Fennell, rooted back with Coach Flatley, who is a legend here in Garden City.
Somers just tattooed Horace Greeley up in Westchester.
Every day I am impressed, Dylan, by your knowledge of every lacrosse program within 100 miles. Is there 100 miles? Where is Somers? I don't know.
That part I don't know.
All right. Well, he's human.
It might feel like 100 miles to get up to Somers from here. Final 2:45 of this one. Yeah, but Somers, listen, if you are coming out of Class C in Nassau County, beware of Somers, man.
Wantaw, you hear that?
Yeah, you're put on notice.
Beth Page, start scouting Somers.
Final 2:19 of this one.
Going right to the box to make sure Colin can't touch it.
And there is a goal for Manhasset. And it's for Dylan Shear.
Yeah, Dylan Shear, throwback type player, gritty in between the lines. Just a nice swim to a rollback from range. Great place shot off hip. Has that shake, whoop, little swim, stop on a dime, hockey stop. See him get that separation. Brings the pain down low.
Shear's 8th of the season. He was sorely missed down the stretch of the season a year ago when Manhasset ran into that senior-laden Southside team in the county final.
The only problem with Shear is that Coach Cromwell's he knows that he can't use him everywhere. He kind of needs him in the clearing game on offense. So really want to try to pace him so that he lasts the entire season.
Inside the final 2 minutes of what has been a comprehensive performance from Garden City. Not dissimilar to what we saw from the Garden City girls in their 10th edition of the Woodstick Classic.
Yeah, Leo's, Franklin, all right, they're going to be hopping tonight. Double win on the Woodstick for the Garden City faithful.
And Garden City will just take the shot clock violation, dump it in the corner with 63 seconds remaining in this one.
Things didn't go your way if you're Coach Cromie. You weren't great on the man up at all. Schliff's made some really good saves in the second half. It's 10-5. You know, you have stuff to build on. You just got to hope that you can get to the point where you play them again.
And again, a lot can happen between now and then, but you would suspect.
Good job by Luke Lesor. His Aunt Bethany Lesor, 3,000 points.
Yeah.
Long Island. All-time leading scorer. Also Aunt Sarah, Notre Dame. Dad played with Pele for the Cosmos. That's some athletic family.
I was waiting for the first Pele reference of this broadcast. Let's take a look at some of the players competing on the next level for these two programs.
Joey Terenzi, one of the most dynamic electric players we've seen in this matchup. Cal Gerard, they were sleeping on Duke, no longer. Dukies are back, right? They're playing Cuse today for the ACC Championship.
Tomorrow at noon.
Tomorrow, sorry.
That's all right.
Mulholland, Michigan, Jack Mulholland, All-American defender for Dartmouth. They had a great year. Rowan Collins, Lehigh, will be teammates with Coster. Lehigh is a great school. Sending some, Cawley's going there as well. Been recruiting the Long Island real well. I mean, the Cornell, Staub, Cascadon. Jason Singer, even though from Syosset, was Ivy Defensive Player of the Year. Unbelievable. Cole Weber, Virginia. Stevie Fennell. How about drawing up a play for your son to win the wood stick? I dream about it. Wow, that would be unbelievable. And Tristan Mullally, we see the American flags. God bless you serving the country. Unbelievable day here in Garden City.
Mullally playing for Amplo down at Navy.
Coach Cromwell's son, Aiden Jr., St. Dom's, tearing it up. He'll go play at the Naval Academy. Just connections everywhere.
You mentioned Duke yesterday. Big win, or last night, over North Carolina. And it's Duke and Syracuse. It is tournament time in the NCAAs. We're still a few weeks away from that here. But a reminder, all of those biggest games of the lacrosse season right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Final 20 seconds of this one. I don't know, Soap, we showed a lot of those memorable moments, right, of wood sticks of the past. What for you do you think is the maybe defining moment of this one?
Of this one, I would say that it's just Garden City's ability to share the ball. I think it's something that this is a team where you look at it, they dominate the X, but it's not a team that you feel like it's heavily reliable on one player. And I think it's just a nice chemistry, nice flow. And you talk about timing, I think it's a perfect timing for Garden City coming off a loss against Northport. You don't need to motivate any more than the wood stick. I think it's a great win for Coach Fennell, one that they're going to build off for the future.
So they improved to 10-2 on the season. Manhasset falls to 8-4. Time now for our breakout goaltending save of the game. Breakout Goaltending Group is Long Island's longest running goalie exclusive training program, serving boys and girls elementary through college age all year round since 2004. Today's breakout save of the game winner receives a certificate good for one complimentary lesson with Long Island's finest Breakout Goaltending Group. Visit them online at breakoutgoaltending.com. Brian Soper, take it away.
Jake Schliff took it away. He sealed the deal. Get down low. Dug it off the turf. Jake Schliff was amazing in the second half. See here. Boom, right? Locked in like a beach ball. Roll back, Petroselli. Save loading. Down low, Schliff is really good. Hey, call up Kate Conley from earlier. You guys can carpool. Come down for a lesson. Garden City goalies dominate the day. Both breakouts, goaltending save of the game. Love to see it, Jake. Keep it up. Good luck the rest of the way.
So Garden City, they win the 142nd edition of the Woodstick Classic. Might we have number 143 in, about a month's time or so, a little less than a month?
I thought you were saying 143. You love me, Dill. We love those sandwiches today, right?
100%. That's going to make the second half of my Nico. I'm going to be on Ocean Parkway. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, your hair's going to be flowing. Down. Cranking some, what'd you say, kidfolk? Who was that?
Yeah, little Sam Hunt.
All right.
Yep. And we'll have the trophy presentation momentarily here, as it is Manhasset bringing back the Woodstick Trophy to Garden City. And you see Garden City celebrating. It is their 65th win in this long-standing series.
Yeah, you see Luke Lesor giving the trophy a little kiss.
Now a little team picture with the trophy.
Good day to be a Trojan.
So they ended that recent trend, right, of winning on the road. They go back-to-back in the regular season, but it's been win-loss, win-loss. So let's see what happens if there is a second edition come the postseason. Well, it was a good start for Manhasset with Danny Colin getting on the board. But then the face-off X became an issue.
Shows Manhasset the exit.
And they got performances all around. Schliff in the cage.
Wukta, Lesor, Dangler.
Coster with the goal, and then the celebration with the Wood Stick Classic. Number 142 goes to the boys from Garden City. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, Chris Sweeney, our technical director, Veron Pierre, and Kevin Catalanano, bringing you all those great moving images. For Brian Soper, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Garden City. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity